Well, yo guys, what's up? It's Panda again. How's it going? We are here. This is Blender for Beginners. Today, on my episode, we're gonna be introducing Mixamo again, and we're gonna start. I'm gonna show you. Pretty much, I'm gonna go over what I went the first episode, which is how to repeat your beast animation, and then we're gonna start combining Mixamo animation. So I'm pretty sure if you've been on it Mixamo, you'll see an animation where he's running, and then you see an opposite one where he's jumping. And you're trying to, and then during the timeline setup, you're trying to figure out, okay, how do I make it where, these animations link up with each other and it still like stays on the on the model itself of the beast. So today that's what we're gonna go ahead and go through. It's honestly not that long. It's pretty simple, but at the same time, I'm also gonna be setting up a cool little environment for my beast, so he can be running and jumping and all that fun stuff. But yeah, like so right now, let's go ahead and jump into Mixamo real quick. I just want to see if we can get a thumbs up from everybody. You can see my screen right now. I would really appreciate it. I just want to make sure that we are flowing pretty good. And then we can, all right, cool. Got the thumbs up. I like them. I like them. Oh, yeah. So now we are on the Mixamo screen. And as you can see, I have my beast here set up already. But as you can see, the animations, there's some animations that let's go with like run, which is the one I'm going to work with today. So you have one where like the classic like, oh, it's not loading up. Let me reset this real quick. Oh, Mixamo, do your job for me, please. There you go. So now he's running. And of course, what I usually like to do is have it where he's running in place. So I click the little in place button, and this guy's just like, jogging it up, and he looks pretty cool. So right now, that's the animation I'm going to start off with, the running animation. So let's say here, though, you want him to run, and then you want him to do a jump. I think I have it where I downloaded the backflip. Let's see if that's there right now. There. Is that it? There it is. Run to flip. So now, as you can see, is the little run to flip animation. So what we're going to do today is we're going to link the running animation, and then it's going to link to the backflip, the running backflip. So right now, as you can see, he does start with a little run. He flips, and then he's just chilling, waiting for his next movement. So yeah. So what you need to do, we're going to go back to the running animation first. And it's going to be this specific one right here, running. And then you're going to hit in place. And when you click download, you're going to download this one with the skin. So that's going to keep that FBX file that you put in there and everything all good to go. So when you open it up in Blender, you're going to have like the skin and ready. So this is good with FBX, with the skin. None for the keyframe reduction, that's fine. And then 30 frames per second is good. So pretty much just click this download guy, and it's going to go to wherever you download stuff. And then the next step, we'll get the run. Well, let's go flipping again. Then for the flipping, the run to flip. So you got this wonderful animation right here. For this specific one, since we're going to be linking this one together with the running one, what you're going to do is you're going to hit download, and you're going to have everything the same, but the skin, you're going to select without the skin. So what that does, it's going to download just the animation, and it's going to pretty much be the little skeleton of the animation. So when you open it up in Blender, you're just going to have just the skeleton. And then from there, we'll go ahead and start getting that combined. So let's go ahead and move into Blender right now. I'm going to take off this browser. So that's all really what you would need in Mixamo, is just one scene one animation that you want with the skin, and everything else that you want to add on to it without the skin. So I mean, there's also different animations where there's dancing ones where like you can actually do like the whole Thriller song if you want, which you'll probably see during the Halloween season. So I'm probably gonna I'm thinking about messing with that. So I think that'd be pretty fun. Anyways, so you can actually link different dancing things. You can link, let's say there's the animation where he's like walking around like shooting stuff, or as a like a soldier or something. You could like link up the animations to make it like a little Call of Duty style video. But anyways, that's later down the future. So let's go ahead and get into Blender right now. So I'm gonna turn off this browser, and right now, as you see, I already have um, the setups already in there. But pretty much what you do is you're not going to be able to see this setting. I mean these settings, because when I share my screen, it doesn't show it. But when you watch the video back, it'll show what I'm doing. But anyways, what you'll do is you click File. You're going to click Import, and then you click FBX. And then what you're going to do is you're going to import the first FBX that you downloaded, which would be the run cycle. And it's basically gonna populate this guy in that run cycle, and that's what it populates, that little run cycle right there. And then from there, what you do is you go back to File, Import, FBX again, and then you're gonna import the second file we did, which is the run to flip. So that's gonna be, and it's gonna populate like this, where it's just gonna be without the skin. It's just gonna show the skeleton, and if you play it, it's pretty much doing that flip for you, right? So those are the two things. So pretty much what you're doing, you're populating your whole area into like the different animations that you want. And once you populate it, what it does, it goes into the system. It's pretty much embedded in there. So you have like these little armatures ready to go. And now what you do is when you click the skeleton, you're going to see the little animation on the bottom. And that's like the keyframes. So what we're going to do is we're going to click this editor type menu, and we're going to go into non-linear animation. And then that's going to show these awesome paths. So right now, I already renamed them, but when they come into these particular windows, it's going to show like a long name. It's going to have like Mixamo attached to it. And all I did was change the name to it. So the first one's going to be Run, and then the second animation is going to be Flip. So now that I got those two in there, what we're going to do is we're going to click. Oh, so right now, yeah, so we named it. We did that. Okay, cool. So we're going to click this awesome little menu called the push down action. And what that does is it kind of embeds the animation into the whole timeline. So now it's in there. So now you can actually manipulate it how long you want this to be. So let's say I want this run cycle to continue and not just stop at 20 frames. On the right side, you're going to go into where it says action clip, and there's an option that says repeat. And you're gonna highlight it, and you're just gonna start scrolling it to the right side. And what it does, it starts expanding the timeline for that specific animation. So right now, every time you see these little white lines, that's where it restarts. So right now, instead of it being 20 frames, I put it all the way to 77. So as you can see, if I play it, he's just gonna keep on running. So you can actually set that up where it goes throughout the whole thing if you want. If you have like another animation that you just wanted to do that throughout, you can just expand it to however long you have your main keyframe set. But right now, I'm gonna keep it at this last one, which is, what number is it? 58. So we're just gonna go down right there. So 58. And that is gonna set up that first animation, which is the run. And from here, so now you have this flip animation. You're pretty much going to do the same thing. You're going to click this, the push down action. Since this is the ending of the animation, I'm not going to repeat it in any way like that. I'm just going to keep it like that. But since I already did it pretty much embedded into the system, you can actually, now what you do is you're going to go up here to where it says no action. Wait, where is it? No action? No, sorry. Where is it? Oh, okay, yeah. You're gonna click no action right here, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna go to the right side, and you're gonna click new. When you click new, a new action is gonna come up, right? So what you do is on this right side, it says browse action to be linked. What you're gonna do is you're gonna find your flip animation that you did, and it's gonna populate it right here. So this one you don't really need it anymore. So you can actually just like delete it if you want, but we'll just keep it for now. So right now you have this flip animation ready to go, and I believe that we have to bring it to the center. So what we'll do, because when you actually download, when you put the the FBX file into the Blender, it automatically goes into the center. But since I made that preview picture, I moved it a bit. So now we're just gonna center it again. So what I usually do is I make sure that the cursor is in the middle of the world, and I'm gonna click on it. I'm gonna right click, and then I'm gonna put snap selected to cursor. And what it's going to do, it's going to snap that whole thing back into the middle. So now the animation should be set. So now, going back to what I said, so once you put that animation in this specific armature, meaning this is what you wanted to start combining, you pretty much combined it together already, but we have to start moving this around. It's not letting you move anything, right? So we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing, which is push down the action, and now they're both embedded into this armature. And all we got to do is just move this, like you just select it, and you can move it to the right, and then move it down, and now it's gonna like link it up. So now when you press play, he's gonna run, and then flip. And that's how you combine the animation. Right now my computer's acting really funny. I don't know why it's being so slow, but it is what it is. Anyways, so there we go. We'll just change it like that. So now it's pretty much, I linked the animation together. So there you go. Now it's linked. So you could do that to any animation. So let's go here, and I'm gonna go back to timeline and change this to 125. So you just keep on repeating itself. And now when I press play, it's just gonna start repeating itself. But that's how you link an animation together in Blender. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a little scene real quick to show you, like, pretty much like, let's say you have this animation set already and you're like, okay, what do I do with it? So now what we can do is like set up a plane, and we're gonna make like a little road for this guy to run on. So I'm gonna set up the plane, I'm gonna make it cool or what have you, and then at the end of it we want him to jump on something, right? So what we can do is make a cube, like a brick wall or something. So we can expand this up, and then we'll go up. This. That. Here. Okay, so now we have this. What I usually do, like, I usually make the environment like work around the beast rather than like animating the beast go to something. I usually make the ground or the environment go to the beast instead. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna highlight both of these, and then I'm gonna right click and then join them together so it could be one object. So now it's like when I move it, it's like the whole thing moving. And right now we're trying to look for the part where he steps on it, which is right, I would say right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to move this back to right here. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, okay, cool, that looks good. So we're going to keep it right here, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to right click, and then we're going to insert the keyframe and location. And then we're going to bring it back all the way to 0. And then we're going to bring this forward and then keyframe another location. So when you play it, he's running and then boom, he like hits the... But what I like to do is I usually change the interpolation mode and I make it linear or linear linear. And so what that does is just makes a straight animation, because the other one, it kind of like, it starts off slow and then it goes and then like ends slow. It's I for stuff like this you don't need it like that, but now he's pretty much, it stops perfectly so he can actually jump on that wall. So what we can do, let's see where this camera's at right now. Now we're just gonna have a little bit of fun. So let's get this camera centered. Get it centered, and then rotation. Oops. Where's it? No, this is gonna be 180. 180. Oh no, it should be 0. Oh. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What did I do? Oh no. I messed with the camera. Oh, there it goes. 0. So now he's right here. So let's see what we could do. We'll have this camera. Like I said, I like to have mine usually square when I do it. Okay, there we go. So let's have it set where he starts here. And then we're going to right click. We're going to insert the keyframe to, we're going to do location and rotation. Okay, so from there, I want it to go back right here. And insert keyframe, location, rotation. This. Whoa, too far back. Oh no, I hate when I do that. Here. And then right here. Oh, here's another cool trick that you can do with your cameras. If there's an option, where is it? Oh, for constraints. What I like to do is I'll click the object constraint and then I'll go into track 2, and then I'll pick the mask, and that's not the mask right there. What is that? That's the pooch, whatever that is. No. Oh, what does it do is eyes. No, not that. Get it. Why is he looking down? That's weird. Oh, okay. Never mind. We're not going to be able to do that right now because... Oh, no, I can. Okay, sorry. You sometimes... Okay, with Beast, well, if you've noticed, these little dashes, it kind of shows that that's where the center is for these guys, and they're all pretty much locked in when you do an animation or have an armature. It usually shows like the center of that specific mesh is, at the bottom, but you can always manipulate that. So let's say if I click the mask and I right click and I set origin to geometry, it's going to go into the center of him. And then so now when I hit the constraint and I go into the balaclava, now it's locked into his face. So when when it's moving, and let's say if I move the camera up or around, I always get that thing. Where is it? Right there. Or around, it's gonna stay on him. So let's right click, enter rotation. So right here, if I start going up, it's gonna still track him. It's gonna still it's tracking this little area right here. So what we can do is do this cool thing where I'm making this up as I go, guys. So if this is kind of funny to you, it's funny to me too. So we're gonna go up here and then we're gonna track this camera and we're just gonna start just messing around with this camera. So right now I'm just manipulating it. And doing some crazy stuff because why not? I don't even know what this is gonna look like, but it should be cool. Oh man, this is so funny to me. So now I made. Let's see what this did. I don't even know what I did. So this is gonna be pretty funny, or cool. So I have it set up. So now when he's running, yeah, that was pretty. That's pretty crazy. It's not smooth at all. But anyways, you guys get the gist of it. Like now that I have it set up where he's jumping on a wall. That's where it kind of messes up right there. Where he jumps on a wall. Um, I have it set up now where I have the wall set up, I have the ground set up, and now it's just pretty much building upon that, and then start adding like your materials to stuff to make it look cool. And but that's like the gist of combining your animation, adding like a camera in there, doing some crazy movements, and then like having it end. And right now, since my computer's really slow, it looks weird, but hey, it is what it is. But if you guys have any questions right now, that'd be awesome. Or, but yeah, it's like I said, it was a pretty quick tutorial on it. But we could do some fun stuff now. Hopefully, you guys would see some cool ideas from this, or some things that you might envision yourself for messing with stuff. But yeah, I think this was a pretty cool setup. Any questions you got for me, Red? He's playing with his beast right now.
Oh, sorry, I'm on mute. I didn't see any questions for you, but El Guapo, we do post these all to the YouTube playlist, which you can find on a shop called Beast.com. There's a Blender library there that'll take you to the YouTube playlist that has this recorded session as well as the previous 9 that we've done. How do you remove a key point if needed? I think that's keyframe.
Yeah, if you need to remove one, you just highlight it on the timeline, and you can just right click and then delete the keyframe on it. Another way we could do this. So let me show you something else real quick, guys. So let's say how if you saw what I was doing, every time I moved it, I was adding a keyframe to it because I'm usually used to doing stuff like that. But there's also this button right here that's called auto keying, which is pretty cool too because then you don't have to right click add keyframe every time. Once you lock the keyframe down of what you want to do, like let's say here I hit insert keyframe and I just want to do locations and rotations, I just select it once. So now let's say if I get to this certain spot and I want it to go backwards, once I move it backwards, it's an auto keyframe it. I don't have to like mess with it anymore. So here I can start, adding crazy setups, and it's just gonna start like recording like what I'm doing with the movements. So here, let's say I want to go forward, and then here I want to go like this. So right now, every time I move the camera, it's auto. It's pretty much like recording everything I'm doing, and I don't have to hit right click on it or anything like that. And it saves like it makes you a little bit, it gives you a little bit more freedom about what you're doing because you don't have to worry about, you know, always having to click the right click keyframe all the time. You can just go with the flow, and whatever you're feeling, it'll just start like recording every movement that you do, which is really cool. And then, so here we'll just go back. Whoa, there we go. And then whatever I did through all that time, it recorded everything. So now whenever I play it, like all those movements that I did started recording, and I didn't have to like right click it all the time and stuff like that. But to answer your question, April, yes, after you're done setting whatever animation that you do, you just and you're pretty much set. You just go into the render how you usually render out a video or the images, and it's gonna lock in everything that you did. So yes, to answer that question. Um,
Do you want to do you want to show them the settings real quick for doing the animation because you have to flip it to the FFmpeg?
Oh yeah, of course. So
Yeah.
to get it set up for animation, like okay, the difference between there's two ways of doing it. If you're in cycles and you set this up, it's gonna start rendering uh, per keyframe. I mean not keyframe, sorry, per frame itself. So when you're rendering in cycles, when we switch it over, and um, where is it at? Okay, here. So let's say you change the output, and I'm gonna put I don't know my D drive, and then here for file format, what I usually do is I hit MPEG video, but this is where it kind of like differs because when you're in cycles, even if you put it in video, it's still gonna start rendering per frame. So that's where it takes a while for something to render because with cycles, it's like on point, like 3D rendering. It looks super clean and all that niceness that you see, but it takes time. But if you move it over to Eevee, if you hit Eevee and then you go back into the render options. So you're gonna hit the MPEG video, and then for encoder, you're gonna select MPEG 4, which is the MP4, and then here the video codec is H.264. That's fine. Medium quality, that's fine and good. I usually just leave it like this. I haven't really messed with any other frames or anything like that or any settings. But let's go back to what I was saying with Eevee. When you render this out as an animation, it does it per frame, but it's way faster because like how we were explaining before, Eevee's more of a excuse me, Eevee's more of a rendering that I always I know how to explain it, but I always suck at explaining it. Let's say Eevee is the fast way of rendering because it doesn't process as much like it, it doesn't. Oh man, I wish it was
It's
a
not
better.
as detailed in the
Yeah. Okay.
textures.
There you go. There you go. Thank you, sir. Yeah, it's not as detailed as the textures go, but I mean, with Eevee, there's also workarounds that you can make things look really good. But it just renders it out faster. And then when you're in cycles, well, it's gonna take a while. But usually, what I do, like those are my settings that I usually set up with for these renders. So right now, if I would hit render, like this would pop up, but I don't want to render this because it looks ugly. But my colors are not even on there or anything. um, what's cool though is that even now that you have this all set up, you can go in here and do what we did in our previous tutorials where we have like the 3 point lighting, and I don't know why all my lighting's back here, but okay, we're gonna bring that all in here. So we put the 3 point lighting on this guy. We make this guy look really nice. Um, Light him up a bit, and then you could change the colors and just make the environment look cool. But these are like all this like lighting and stuff like that. We do have it available right now in our previous videos that we have up on a shop called beast.com. There's that YouTube setup where we have the different tutorials that goes through like lighting and all that fun stuff. But now, I mean, it looks a little bit better because it has my colors on it now. And then here you can actually like use the blender kit for this guy right here. Oh wait, let's set this up where We're gonna set that material up, and we're gonna add a new material, and then we're gonna put brick. So now we get a brick material, and we'll throw this guy on there.
I always forget to click the texture first every time. I wish they switched the assets.
Yeah,
and the
for
texture.
real. It's always model first, and I'm like, wait a minute, what is this? What am I doing? So now that I have that, oh, so let's go back to this again. If you have two meshes together and they're, I say you combined them, right? But you're like, oh no, but I want to move this brick. How do I do it? Well, when you go to edit mode, which is a tab, you just hover over it and press the L button, and that just selects that one particular setting that you want to mess with, that mesh. So right now I did that, so now I'm gonna put a brick wall on it, and the texture is all weird, so I'm gonna go to shade editor, and hopefully they have it set up on here. Which is the scale? Oh, I can't even see it. What am I doing? Scale. That's not the scale. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, the other on the left there. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you just mess with all this fun stuff. And where'd it go? I broke it. Oh, Blender. Why do you gotta do this when I'm showing stuff off?
Oh, that's really weird. Maybe switch the left
Oh,
one to the shade.
oh no, I went too back. I didn't assign it. There it goes. Okay. So here we can scale it down. Wait, I wish that there was a way. There it goes. That works. Here, and then on the bottom, you can like add another one, and then put maybe a road there. We'll just put a dirt road for no reason. And it's downloading it. How do I move the object to the B? Sorry, I'm slowing now. Oh no, it's all good, dude. Like the path itself? Bragas, right now the way I set it up is I pretty much just combined the brick wall now and like the dirt road. I just combined them together, and then I moved them on a separate keyframe. Uh-oh. I think my Blender froze. Oh, there it goes. Okay, cool. Dang it, Blender, stop. Stop. What's
Quick,
going on?
save it.
Dude. That's the beauty of Blender too. Like, it'll auto save what you're doing, so that's amazing. Alright, so gravel road. And does gravel road have like its own thing? This looks gross. There's a way, I know there's a way, I forgot what it was. I don't know if it was U or it had something to do with the UV maps. But when you set up the UV, like it auto populates correctly on the mesh where you don't even have to adjust that. It just knows where it goes, but I forgot how to do that. So now he's running on that. Oh, thanks. I wonder if I do have that. I don't know if I set that up with it. No, I think it's just armature. I think what I need, Lost, is a good old computer reset. That's what I need. Because I probably have some stuff open that's just like killing my memory right now. But
Yeah, it could be the stream too, like Vivid said.
yeah.
And then April was wondering if you wanted to put an object in the beast's hands, you'd have to find an animation that has his hands in the
No.
proper like pose,
Oh,
and then
hey,
move the object with it.
that's a good one. I could do that real quick. So let's say he's running, and what should we run with? Like a torch, maybe? Is that even how you spell it? There you go.
I'm trying to think why someone would be running at a brick wall
With
with
it,
something in their hands to do a backflip.
well, let's do, I don't know, give me something. A banana?
Perfect.
We'll drop a banana in here. Hopefully this banana is not like a huge banana, because sometimes when you download something, it's like takes over the whole screen. And you're like, no, I just wanted a little banana, bro. Okay, it's there. Oh no,
What
it's small. It's a small banana. There
what
it is.
object are you thinking of, April? Just curious.
Okay, so
Oh, paintbrush.
Oh, okay. Well, let's do a paintbrush. Paintbrush. Oh, spelled that wrong. But what about a spray can? Oh, there was one right there. Ah, get it. Oh no! What am I doing? Oh
This
no!
guy's
It's gonna be a
this
Nintendo
guy's so
thing.
excited about painting a mural that he's doing a backflip off the wall to get ready. Makes sense.
It's like Jet Grind Radio. You guys remember that game? Or Jet Set Radio? Is that what it's called? Yeah. Jet Set
Ah,
Radio was dope. Right, the banana's in there. No, we're gonna delete that. And the spray can is in there. So now we have a spray can. So what we're gonna do is get rid of this top. And then we're gonna bring this small. Okay. For some reason, okay, so right now, let's say you download something and you see that it already has like a dashed line on it, and you're just like, okay, what is that? Usually what it does, it's already parented to something that centers it because that's just how the person sets it up. But you can totally take that out. What you do is like you highlight everything that comes with that spray can, and you would right click and hit parent and then clear and keep transformation. What that's gonna do is that it's gonna take off whatever like input that was put on there. So now you just have like the spray can. Sometimes it works a little bit better than how this is set up right now because for some reason like the tube came out here. So we're just gonna delete that and not worry about it. So now we just have a broken spray can, and what we're gonna do right now is that we're gonna show April how to attach this object to this guy right here. And if I remember correctly, we're gonna try to get it where it's gonna look weird because when he does move his arm, it is gonna hit his pants. So, I mean, that spray can might get like, it might disappear because of that. But we're gonna try to get it as smooth as we can. So we're gonna center it as much as we can to there. So now he's set, but oh wait, let me take this off. There you go. I forgot to take off that. Okay, so he's set, but as you can see, when he runs, like his hands come up or whatever. So what we're gonna do is, how do we do this? Give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna refresh my own memory real quick. Combine. One second. Okay. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna select the spray can, and then we're gonna select the bone, and then now that the bone selected, we're gonna go into where it says pose mode, and then you're gonna click that bone again, and then you're gonna right click and no, sorry about that. You're gonna press Control P, and then you're gonna press, and it's gonna go to bone, and now you're gonna see how it's like linked together. So if I go back, hopefully this works, guys, because I haven't done this in a bit. If I press play, yeah, there we go. So now the spray can is combined with the hand, and it's going with the movement now. I hope that answers that. So now he's running with the spray can. He's about to do a kickflip. There we go. But that's how you unlock an object to the character. And here, so right now, since it's locked, you can still like make it big if you want. You can still adjust it no matter where you put it now. Like, even if you put it over here, it's gonna be locked to that bone. So so now you can like really adjust how it looks in his hand, and hopefully that helped you, April, and that actually gave everybody else like a really cool tip, because I haven't went over that, and it was a perfect time. So I appreciate you bringing that up. But yeah, so now this spray can, you can start manipulating how it's gonna go. so it could look a little bit better. So here, and now it's just a big spray can, and now it's completely locked into them.
That's so cool. I thought you had to do like totally separate keyframes just for the can, which
I
would have
see
been
that
insane.
I used to do it like that, and I started really diving into like some tutorials to figure it out because there was a project that I was working on that I was trying to figure out something to make it just easier for me, and
Yes.
I found it. It just like for April to bring that up right now, it's like it was a good refresher for me because I was like, wait a minute, I've done this before. So I mean, this is for this like adding this to your ideas that you might have, guys. Like you can do a lot more stuff now. I've seen Beast out there carrying stuff, gym equipment. I know Juice is doing some stuff with that or whatever. But now you can actually get in there and add it to your Beast and not worry about having to keyframe an animation just for that because now it's just going to be linked up all to Mixamo. So whatever you do with Mixamo, you can link like different things to it, and hopefully like this gives you guys like a good um, opening to do some cool stuff other than what you've been doing right now. You know what I mean? Just to open it up, but
That's so
yeah.
cool. I was just playing around with the scene of like beasts working out, and I kept running into an issue where a lot of the Mixamo animations like involve some sort of weight or a bar that you would need to use. So this is perfect. Yeah, you can just attach like a squat bar to his
Oh
back
yeah,
and have
yeah, exactly. And then you just
super cool.
select it to the backbone, or maybe the hands, and then put like I think you can link two bones to it. Yeah, when you click the object, you can actually have it where, um, so let's say here, and you go back to pose mode, and then when you click this bone, and then you click this bone, and then you control P it, and then hit bone, like it's gonna be linked to both of them. I don't want to do it right now because I don't know if it's gonna mess anything up, but pretty much that's how it goes. And as far as like seeing these like clippings where right here, now I haven't gotten that far where I can actually manipulate Mixamo's bones as it's going, because even if you tried, let's say, oh, you know what I mean? Like, oh, sorry, this looks weird right here, and I want to pose this, and I want to bring this guy like over here or something. Like I want to. I'm still trying to research how to manipulate the bones, because if you even mess with it right here, it's still gonna reset back to how it was. It's not gonna like change anything. So I'm still trying to figure that out because you're gonna run into issues like this. Let's say here, like now the spray cans in his butt or whatever. But I mean, as far as the overall setup, you can still like go in here and mess with the can, the spray can, so it won't be crazy. But you just can't like. I'm still trying to grasp like how to really, really fine tune it, and I don't know if that's where you have to get really where you have to do like separate keyframes for those particular movements. Is so right here, like this can went up, so I would have to move it down. But then on the second on another frame, like it goes back to where it's fine. Then you have to move like the spray can back to where it was. So that's where it gets a little complicated. And I'm still trying to figure out how to do that. If anybody knows any cool tricks as far as that goes, just to keep things. But I mean, for now, at least you can do like cool stuff. Can we animate objects? So you wanted to make actual paint come out of can. What would we need to do to make an interactive object? Mm. So April, so you want to make it where like if he's running or something, like paint is coming out of the can at the same time? Is that what you mean? Or like if it's a paintbrush?
Surprised the spray can doesn't come with an animation on it.
Yeah. I think you would have to do something like that, but it would actually be involving particle effects. Um, so right now, like let's say if I turn on particle effects, like it's just gonna start, blasting crazy stuff. But I'm pretty sure we could adjust it. You know, that actually looks pretty funny. He's already here. It's like,
It like blows up. It's
it's
leaking.
just, it's always leaking. So I wanted to make him actually paint the wall. How? Oh, okay, okay, okay. See, that actually comes into, well, from what I remember, when you use a particular object, you can go into here where it says dynamic paint, and that's a whole different like element to it, and maybe I can figure that out for like another episode. But if you, I'm pretty sure, pretty much what it does is when you select dynamic paint, you're saying, hey, I want this wall. Oops, what did I do? I just changed. Okay, not here. So, okay, so let's take off this particle stuff because that's getting in the way, and let's just do something totally different. So let's say I have a plane here, and I'm gonna make go 90 degrees. I have like 2 minutes. Sorry, guys. So 90 degrees, and let's say oh, you know what? Let's do this instead. Make it flat, flat, huge, and then we're gonna get another. We'll do a sphere. Okay, so let's say here I want this plane to be a dynamic paint. This is going to be the canvas, and then the ball I want the dynamic paint, but I want that to be the brush. And then you're gonna add brush, and then here you're gonna add the canvas. And what I remember, okay, it's not doing it. There's different things that you can do with this brush and the canvas, and that's kind of what you're saying. So I know Lost, I think he used this for when he did that video where you see the beast walking and then the grass kind of grows in the areas that he's walking on. I think that's how he set it up, where the ground was like the canvas, and he made the his shoes like the paintbrush, so when he's walking around, like those items are like kind of populating. And I think you can actually do that too. So like if he's like painting something on a wall, he could have it. Let's see what Lost says. Maybe I'm wrong, but if he's painting on a wall, you can have the brush be a brush, and then you have like the wall as the canvas. So once it interacts with it, it could do something. But as far as writing something particular, like let's say you wanted a, it's not gonna be like, oh, let me write a signature, because you would have to actually animate his hand to really like get that, that animation going. But I think that might be a thing, but that gets a little bit more technical on that. Didn't actually do it that way, but that could work. Would have to see it if possible. Oh man, Lost did it a different way. That's cool, dude. There, like I said, there's many ways to work with stuff. And there's no wrong way as long as it works. So whatever you guys come up with, it works, and that's just it. Like, if it works, it works. Like it doesn't matter how you do it.
Yeah, and April, you can also
Oh,
kind
that's
of
cool, Jim. Yeah.
you can also kind of cheat a little bit if you just do the camera angle where you just show him kind of moving the spray can or the paintbrush in the front, and then just cut to the wall that has the painting on it. You know what I mean? So make it look like he's doing it even though he's not.
Yeah, that's a good way of doing it. Or you can also have it where, let's say if somebody's familiar with like After Effects, you can actually make it where like the writing comes on After Effects, and then you throw the image as planes, as we did in the previous tutorial where we did like the beast stage, and then you put that animation on the wall, so as the beast is going, like it's animating,
Oh,
the video.
yeah, that's definitely the way to do that. Upload a
Yeah.
video of it
Uh-huh.
being done. Oh, that'd be really
Exactly.
cool.
Uh-huh. So, but yeah, like that's pretty much the tutorial. I'm glad I was able to add that object one to it. That was a really perfect thing to ask, April. I appreciate that, because now people will have that knowledge and be able to do some fun stuff with objects. And you know, not worry about it being so complicated. Look at how his arm is all. That's so funny. Um, it doesn't have to be so complicated to think that, oh man, but if I want to add like something, I have to, do keyframes for it. Like, no, you just attach it to the bone, whatever the bone's doing, from Mixamo, like it'll, work with the object. So yeah, really cool.